live in alignment with you, not the fucking norm. The people who watch my channel, they have a burning desire within them. I want to dig out the fucking treasures within you. Because you were not made to stay in a fucking job that you hate. That's my fucking core of life. That's my, not just a fucking tagline, that's everything I stand for. And I will explain why. And every path, every person on this human being, every person on this planet will end up entering the same door, and that is death. Regardless if you are poor or rich, regardless of if you are high status or low status, regardless of if you're a criminal or a saint, regardless of whatever you've possessed or done through your life, whoever you've been, the journey ends, the end destination here on this planet is death. I've been such a fucking driven person my whole life. In school, I studied so fucking hard, and I did it mainly because I wanted a ticket out of my current situation. I felt like I need to study so fucking hard that I can buy myself a ticket to a better life, and so I never have to be dependent on any authority again. And so I was a fucking A student, and when I got out of school, I felt so fucking tricked. And I felt like, why did I waste so much time studying so fucking hard for nothing? Like, school doesn't even prepare you for the work life. The work life has its own sets of rules, and you have to, it feels like the last couple of years I've had to relearn so fucking much. I had to be like, okay, what skills actually is valuable in this world? It wasn't fucking algebra, I can tell you that, and I'm a fucking engineer. I chose the wrong career, fucking hell. And so I'm so fucking passionate. I feel like if you are, okay, I'm going down a rabbit hole here, but I feel like in my case, I started out super misaligned through some traumatic experiences. Got super misaligned, meaning that since I was in survival mode the whole time, I was focusing on surviving. And I didn't even think about, expanding, or how can I be the best version of myself? What's my desires? How can I be aligned? None of that. And to be honest, like, being in a real survival situation, that is what is required. However, when you are misaligned, you make misaligned decisions, meaning you will choose the wrong career. You will engage with the wrong people who aren't a match for you. It might not be that they are terrible, toxic people. It might just be that they aren't a match. Because you aren't you, so people are attracted to the misaligned version of you. And for the longest fucking time, that was me. I chose, as I said, the wrong career, and I would still have been in that career had I not just crashed the fucking down. So it felt like, since I had a lot of traumatic experiences as a child, my tea kettle, or the pressure within, had built up so much. So when a situation happened at work that lasted for a long time, that created a lot of stress for me. I just had this capacity left in my tea kettle, and it exploded, and I ended up in chronic fatigue, and I ended up with my ego being so fucking scattered and broken so fucking badly that I couldn't recover it. I could not recover it. I promise you, if it was possible, I would have recovered it, because I didn't want to lose the status or the person that I was, the respectable engineer. I knew my shit. Where was I going with this? Okay, yeah, so whatever. And so when I got so fucking broken, I bought a one-way ticket to Thailand, and there, for the first time in my life, I found a spiritual community. And I was so fucking bad that it could have ended up poorly, but I actually ended up in a really lovely place, and I met a yoga teacher who really nurtured my fucking soul, and that made me come home to me. And I realized that, oh my god, I am not a logical person. I should not be in a logical industry where it's praised to be in the box, thinking that this planet is only material stuff. And so I fucking came home to myself. Came home to my body. I got back to dancing. I got back to creating. I got back to, my fucking self. And I met other people who live different lives. Here, when I've been in my bubble in Sweden, it's been like, yeah, you follow the path, you study, you go to university, and then you have a job, and then you do the reasonable thing, and you get kids, and you marry, and then you have a house, and then you just follow this fucking main street, which is not for me. It's not for me. And I don't think it's for you either. And the fucking relief first to just be like, oh my God, there are people like me out there. And, and that also took me to a long journey of embracing myself, the parts of me that I've been hiding that wasn't acceptable in the engineering world or even in my circle. And so I've been hiding so much about me and hiding, being bi, hiding. I haven't really hid it, but it's just like not something that I want to put out there. I've been like, maybe suppress is a better word than hide. So I've been suppressing a lot of parts of me, creativity, spirituality, just the opposite of the world I was in. And then found ways to embrace myself, find ways to be like, how can I overcome all the programming that I've had in my life? So many fucking limiting beliefs that scared the shit out of me of even being seen. Even being able to talk on camera like this is a fucking block that I've overcome. I promise you, it's never, I don't know, it's just so much that I've learned. And I became a fucking master in turning the chaotic, a lot of, I think a lot of self-image issues and this just feeling of like, no, I can't do that, or doesn't feel right, a lot of resistance or a lot of self-sabotage. And I've been able to take that and find a fucking structure to just be like, okay, this is my machine, and I will just pour in the input here, which is the fears, and then it's like going through all that, and then I have an output, and it's like, oh, okay, now I feel relieved. I feel free from that fear. The more you free yourself from those fears that you might not even know that they are there, the more you liberate yourself, the easier it becomes to feel like it's safe to be aligned. It's safe to follow the dream you want. And it's just so fucking amazing. And that's what I want to continue helping people with. If you're interested in finding ways to overcome your own inner limitation that you don't even know what they are, you can subscribe to my newsletter and I will get you fucking going, because the people who watch my channel, they have a burning desire within them. I want to dig out the fucking treasures within you, because you were not made to stay in a fucking job that you hate. Okay, I feel like I went very off track here. So I was talking about all roads lead to death. Yeah. And I feel like the biggest regret for a lot of people who are dying is that I wish I stayed true to myself. Because the thing is, you can live a life, you can follow the norm, you can do what's expected of you, but for what? You will die then doing what do you say? You wasted all your talents or all the juice in you for what? For fucking what? There is no prize at the end. There is death at the end. So the only reasonable way to live life is to enjoy the fucking journey, because the end destination isn't as, because we might set goals, and I've been the goal person. I said in the beginning that I was really studying so fucking hard. I needed to have the best grades in my class, not in my class, but in the subject. And when you get that grade, when you get the highest grade, you're like, okay, great, next. And I feel like, setting goals are amazing and it keeps you going maybe. But if you set goals that aren't aligned with you, you will feel so fucking empty. And I believe that, even setting goals that are in alignment, they won't give you the juiciness that you want. You can give it to yourself now. I don't believe that when I have 10,000 followers or more, I don't think it will change a thing, because then I will just raise the bar. And I think that's what we do all the time, because we want to evolve. And yeah, so we have to distinguish between that, and we have to always make sure that the goals we set are aligned. But the most important thing is, can I find a way to enjoy the process? And this goes to every fucking area of your life, because you can ask yourself, in whatever you're choosing, you can ask yourself, like, do I believe that I would enjoy the daily life of being a parent, or do I just want adult children that can take care of me when I'm old? It's very different, because why would you live 20 years in misery if you feel that would be misery for you? If you feel like, I'm just, trying to survive for 20 years, how is that a good fucking investment? How is that a good investment? And it's the same for if you start a business. Ask yourself, do I believe that this business model will, or do I believe that I would thrive and love the lifestyle that this business model would give me? Or is there another business model that would make me thrive more? So, for example, if you start a cafe or a little kiosk or a little shop that requires you to be there every fucking day, or if you're like a hairdresser, if you don't show up as the hairdresser and cuts hair every day, you won't make money. Okay, would you like that lifestyle? Are you a talkative person who wants to have a lot of social interactions and want to be on this like in the location every day? Or do you want another lifestyle, or do you think that you would thrive and enjoy another type of lifestyle more? And I had another good example. I'm gonna find it. Yeah, it's the same for like a career. So you can ask yourself, like, would I really enjoy the daily life of being a doctor, or am I just doing it for the status that comes with the title? Because if you're only doing it for the result or the outcome, you will not enjoy your life. And you will need things that numb you to be able to survive suppressing your soul. Another thing to remember is that people won't miss you when you pass because of what you possessed or the status you had. They will miss you because how you made them feel. And to me, that's so loving in a way, and it takes away so much pressure to be able to, because I feel like the need for success or status is a way to feel validated, to feel loved and accepted, but that's not what other people will love you for. And for me, I've been like, okay, my home isn't fancy enough, I don't want to maybe invite people here. But that's not really what matters. What matters is how I make them feel when they are in my space. Like my space like this, or my space here at home. And it just allows me to be so much more me. And that's so much more liberating. And it's not to say that, status, material wealth or possessions or money is evil in any way. I feel like having money is amazing. That's just and will be an amplifier of who you are. What I'm saying is that don't chase an outcome through a path that isn't aligned. So you can, if you align yourself and follow your heart and live a life that is true to you, you can still look for ways to make yourself comfortable through money or status or it's just different paths. They can lead to the same outcome, but the journey that will take you there is very different. Start playing with the thought of how can I choose a life that is so fucking aligned to me? And don't even take action yet if that's too scary. Just be like loosening up this like rigid structure, how we are supposed to live life. And just allow yourself to be in that a little bit. And then you subscribe to my newsletter and I will do some magic to pull out some treasures in you, or help you like clear your vision a bit more by removing a lot of fears. Because I feel like we can sometimes say that, oh, I don't have the money, or I don't have the times or the resources to start the business I want. But in reality, I believe that a lot of those fears are anchored in fear of being seen or fear of being rejected, especially if you want to do a transition from a career path or something that you've invested a lot of time and money into, like your occupation, and want to do something very contrasting to that. And I just want to say it's fucking possible, and it's not that difficult as you may think. Okay, let's be friends. Okay, I'm really glad that you found me, and I hope to see you soon again.
Nuane koda kudus nganga ay koda ashuti koda nganga Aba washidaya mama ay nganga dai watishkinga